actually, what we're viewing and witnessing is the groundbreaking of the Family Justice Center, the West Contra Costa Family Justice Center, which is going to provide services for families, for youth, for just about everybody who may be experiencing domestic violence in one way, one form or the other.
We are celebrating the groundbreaking for the building for the Family Justice Center, and it's really a momentous occasion, over 10 years in the making, of bringing together different public and private agencies in the community to really figure out how to prevent violence in our community.
I just wanted to welcome you to the future home of the West Contra Costa Family Justice Center. Very exciting. And this is an event that's been 5 or in some cases 10 years in the making. So this is a significant milestone, and we're just thrilled that you're able to join us today. So as I said, my name is Melissa Kane-Huckabee. I'm the project director for the Family Justice Center. And I just want to let you know a little bit about the Family Justice Center as we get started. The Family Justice Center is a co-location of services, a number of providers who come together to address family violence and abuse in our community. Family violence, if left unaddressed, is a learned behavior that can be passed on from generation to generation. Its effect and reach can spread throughout our community. So investing in a Family Justice Center and having a building, a place where victims can go to get all the services, having one place, one door they have to walk through to get all the services that they need, not only helps heal families, but it also helps heal our community, and we are here to celebrate that today. What I want you to hear, most of all, is a Family Justice Center is not a building. It's about relationships, about partnerships, and we could not do that without our partners here standing behind me, our partners in the community, our residents, and those of our greatest supporters. But the building makes it a lot easier to provide services, so we are extremely happy to be celebrating this groundbreaking. To start us off, we are going to briefly hear from our police chief, Chris Magnus, who will be welcoming us in.
Welcome indeed. What a fantastic morning for November 1st. Did we luck out with this today? We are incredibly pleased to have so many of you join us. And what a great crowd. I mean, this really represents West County. This is what is so fantastic about West County. This network of wonderful people who are committed to a project like this, representing a broad cross-section of nonprofits, industry, business, different elected officials, community members, government agencies. I mean, we've really got it all here, and it's the best of all of that because I think people really see the importance of this project and appreciate the value of this kind of key collaboration to provide services to folks who need it the most. We're really trying to reach out with this project to serve underserved, traditionally underserved populations. But it's also for folks of every age group. We've had some particularly tough crimes in this city that have involved younger people and that at their core involve domestic violence in the home. We want to reach out to them better and more effectively. We're trying to reach out to our city's growing, in fact, now majority Latino population, which is also and often underserved because of language and cultural barriers that maybe cause people to be a little more reluctant to report domestic and sexual violence crimes. So this is really about a new kind of outreach at a great central location. It's the product of a lot of people working together very hard on the last 5 years, and we'll look forward to having you all hopefully back here for the next big milestone when this project is completed, which, if all goes well, I'm knocking on wood here, if all goes well, will happen sometime in the fall of the coming year. So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Chief. And we're going to continue to move through quickly. And I just wanted to say that we are so thrilled that our Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom could join us for this event, as well as members of our City Council from the Richmond City Council, the Board of Supervisors, as well as representatives from El Cerrito, San Pablo, and our surrounding cities, Concord, and a few others. So thank you very much for all being here. And next we're going to have Mayor Gail McLaughlin come up and welcome us.
Thank you. It is a great day today to really be celebrating this building that is going to provide much needed services for our community in West County. You know, it is a collaboration. It's a collaboration that I was so pleased to support from the get-go and to really have the support of the entire City Council. And of course, thank you to Joya, Supervisor Joya, and the entire Board of Supervisors, as well as John's staff and the many, many partners. I just want to mention Community Violence Solutions, Stand Against Domestic Violence, Bay Area Legal Aid, the Latina Center. All these groups provide such great services. Now there will be a one-stop center for people who feel, who have been victims of sexual abuse, of domestic abuse. And you know, in Richmond, we stand for justice. Family Justice Center says it all. We stand for families, we stand for justice. I like to say in Richmond, we stand for the three justices: economic justice, social justice, and environmental justice. So today we've made another step forward toward really getting justice for our communities. This will serve underserved communities, as Chief Magnus mentioned, youth, women, of course, who have been known to really be a large sector of the domestic violence harm that has been impacted throughout our society. But both genders, all age groups, the LGBT community, we know that abuses occur. Now this place will be a center for getting some service for these victims and some justice. So I'm pleased to be here. Thank you all for being here and celebrating with us at this groundbreaking.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We appreciate your support. A Family Justice Center would not be able to achieve the outcomes that we are able to, which is saving lives and increasing outcomes and support for victims, without the commitment and support of our district attorney. It's just goes hand in hand with our Richmond Police Department, our other law enforcement entities, as well as our community-based organizations. So we are thrilled to have our district attorney, Mark Peterson, here, who's been a supporter of the project for many years and is here to say a few words.
You know, as I was thinking about this event, I thought about the California Constitution, which is the legal document that really governs what we do here in California. And the voters of California decided the directive was, one of the directives in the California Constitution, is that it is the responsibility of local government to provide for the public safety of its residents. And that's really what you have here. This is a facility that's going to help us achieve justice and actually make our community safer, make Richmond a safer community. And I really applaud the leadership, frankly, of the City of Richmond, West Contra Costa County, the Board of Supervisors, for leading this effort. This is the first family justice, we hope it's the first of many, or at least three, in Contra Costa County, but it started here in West Contra Costa County. And as the mayor mentioned, justice is so important. I actually have those, the phrase, seek justice, serve justice, do justice, are emblazoned on the doors of our office in the district attorney's office. And they aren't on the outside of the building as you walk in, they're on the inside of the building as you walk out. Because our employees are instructed that that's what we're about, justice. Not just convictions, not just getting a win, but what's the just thing to do, what's the right thing to do, what's the fair thing to do. So this is really a testament to that. You'll have a safer community. We will have a safer community here in Richmond because this exists. We'll have a safer community because there'll be more justice. I was just researching even some of the figures on human trafficking. And every year, there are 4 million women that are human trafficked throughout the world. Just a horrible scourge on our society. So this is one step in that, stopping that plague, really. And finally, I'd like to echo the words that Lieutenant Governor said earlier about leadership. We have some great leaders up here that have made this happen. But also, all of you are leaders. You all, just being here today, are helping achieve justice, helping Richmond be a safer community. So I thank all of you for being here. Thank all of you for your leadership. And I believe Richmond, West Contra Costa County, our entire county and state can be a safer community, a more just community because of this facility. So congratulations.
Thank you. This groundbreaking ceremony would not be possible without the support of our county, who, through the leadership of Supervisor Joya, was able to secure this facility for us. This building has had many lives, and with the support of the Board of Supervisors and the leadership of Supervisor Joya, the next life for this building will be the Family Justice Center. So we are incredibly thankful that Supervisor Joya has been so key in bringing this building to our use.
Thank you. You know, it's great to look out on what I call Team West County, because all of you play an important role on so many issues here in West County, whether it's fighting against domestic violence, fighting against other types of crime, youth services. This is a team effort. We can't do this alone, and all of you are an essential part of that. And so I want to first thank all of you. And this is really more than a building, as people have said. It's about what happens in this building and the relationships within this building. And it's really the result of 10 years. I mean, I'm really proud that 10 years ago, the Board of Supervisors declared our county the first in the state to develop a zero tolerance on domestic violence. But we just didn't call it that. We actually got some funding in a very creative way to put together the infrastructure, not to do the services, but to bring people together who were doing this work. The advocates came to us, and I see folks from STAND, Community Violence Solution, Devorah Levine, who I acknowledged earlier, said, we need a better way to come together and share our work and share our services. So over the last 10 years, that effort has resulted in law enforcement, health, social services, the great nonprofits that do work come together and really put together a system to fight domestic violence and work with the victims, not now just domestic violence, but victims of child abuse, elder abuse. And the police chief of Richmond stepped forward here and said, what can we do to build a family justice center in Richmond? And so the leadership here in West County came around that effort. And so we were pleased. Getting the building was easy, and I thank my colleagues on the Board of Supervisors for that. But it's all the hard work over the last 10 years that have really got us to today. And it's because we focus not on who takes credit or, you know, who's out front, but upon the work itself, the victims of violence. And when we can focus on the outcomes, and Bob Uecke of Y&H Soda talked about that earlier this morning, when you can focus on what you're trying to achieve, that's what brings us together and brings out our best. We thought out of the box, and I'm really proud to be here with all of you to celebrate this great opening. And it will be, I know this, the first of 3 centers in our county, one in West, one in Central, and one in East. And I'll just close with, yes, we knew it would start here in West County, didn't we? All right.
Thank you, Supervisor Joya. We're going to move quickly through our next couple of speakers, and then we'll get to the exciting part. But this Family Justice Center was not possible without our partners. Family Justice Centers are about relationships, about partnerships, about community-based organizations working side by side with public entities, with law enforcement working with prosecution. And as you can see from the banner behind me, we have a lot of partners. And one of the partners that we'd like to highlight today and share a little bit about why partnerships are so important with the Family Justice Center is the CEO of Stand for Families Free of Violence, Gloria Sandoval, who's been a fierce advocate for Family Justice Centers for 10 years, but also for collaboration and partnerships in this work. So Gloria, would you like to come up?
Thank you, Melissa, and thank you all for being here today. It's such a proud moment to be able to share with you this morning the groundbreaking for the Family Justice Center. And I do want to say a few things about partnership. This effort is really going to be incredibly important for the many survivors and the many families that are affected by abuse in West County. And one of the things that we know about abuse in the family is that often it's an issue that stems from the abuse of power and control. Now, why I say that is because that is what is important in our partnerships together, is that we, in this effort for over 10 years, have worked to put aside our differences and to realize that it's all about the relationships that we have with one another as organizations. And we try to model those healthy relationships so that we share that model with the clients that we serve. And hopefully we will be as effective in the future as we have been in the past. And this Family Justice Center will be not only the first in Contra Costa County, but hopefully the best in the nation. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Gloria. Before we invite up our next speaker, I would just like to say thank you to everybody who made this day possible, and so I'd like to say a special thank you to our host committee, including the mayor, our City Manager Bill Lindsay, as well as the special supporters that helped bring us this wonderful event for Richmond, Don Lau, and his leadership over there, and thank you very much for that support, as well as BL Moore, who's been a wonderful supporter for us for many years. So next I'd like to invite up Rita. Rita is a volunteer with the Family Justice Center, and she's going to share a little bit about her experience here.
As a volunteer, I have accompanied the West Contra Costa Family Justice Center to Camp Hope, a week-long summer program. There, I had the opportunity to witness a partnership between agencies while working with Camp Lead and Camp Justice Center staff, all whose involvement with youth have had tremendous positive influence. We saw plenty of individual growth on behalf of our kids, malleability, and willingness to adapt to change in an unfamiliar environment. I think the Family Justice Center and Camp Hope have had pivotal roles in helping bring about renewed sense of trust in these kids. By the end of our week, our kids encountered limitless space to be accountable to themselves and each other, to have fun, and to stake claim in new and carefree experiences. I believe it is through this kind of collective effort and involvement that shapes and influences for the better our youth and their families. By simply making available these opportunities, the Family Justice Center is doing just that. I support their intention and dedication, especially with regards to their commitment to empower families and children. They not only provide access to resources and communal support, but also a safe environment for all seeking their services. I can only begin to describe how instrumental the continued partnership between agencies for which the Family Justice Center is modeled on is. In the best of ways, it allows collaboration, while truly addressing the needs of the community. This expansion is allowing for positive growth by fostering stronger community ties and relations. This expansion will further ongoing crisis assistance and will better serve greater numbers of families and people. I'm so glad to be a volunteer with the Family Justice Center, and I'm hopeful for all the many changes that this expansion will offer in the near future.
Thank you, Rita. Camp Hope is a wonderful opportunity for kids who've experienced violence to just be kids for a week at camp. But by now you can tell that the Family Justice Center is all about partnerships and relationships. And we are so pleased to have a partner in our Lieutenant Governor and his willingness to be here today as we celebrate this major milestone. So we're thrilled that he was able to join us. Please help me welcome Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom.
Thanks, Melissa. Thank you, Melissa. Well, what a glorious and gracious day. You know, when you're the last speaker, you recognize quickly these words ring true. Everything that could be said has been said, but I guess not by everybody. So let me chime in and add my words. You know, the Bible teaches us we're many parts but one body. And when one part suffers, we all suffer. We're all in this together. There's no leak on your side of our boat. You can't live a good life in an unjust society. We're here to reconcile that. You know, I was down in Los Angeles. I'm spending a lot of time there. There's a billboard on the 405, not dissimilar to some of the traffic congestion we get right out here. And there's a big billboard as you're crawling along. It says, "You're not stuck in traffic." And as you slowly make your way up close to the billboard, you look under and there's some words in parentheses. It says, "You are traffic." Think about it. Society becomes how we behave. We are our actions. Good, indifferent, enlightened, and promotive. Society becomes how we behave. We're celebrating today a rebirth, a renewal, a regeneration of the community spirit that's always defined the best of Richmond. Richmond Build and all the great work so many of you as community leaders have been doing for years and years, and you haven't given up. You haven't given up on each other. You haven't given up on this community. And you're starting to see the contours of real change. It is remarkable. I was talking to Mark a moment ago about where you were just a few years ago. Your police chief, everybody taking a tough situation. Mayor, you guys, I remember, I was a stone's throw away as mayor, John, and just lamenting, saying, what can San Francisco do to be supportive of the community? But you've turned it around. Things are moving in a new direction. It's why I'm here. And I'm proud of that work. And as I said at the breakfast a moment ago, success leaves clues. If you don't like the way the world looks when you're standing up, stand on your head. Go local. Remarkable things are happening at the local level. You got folks quarreling on TV every single night on all those ESPN 1, 2, and 3, Fox, MSNBC, and CNN, right? All those politicians pointing fingers, who's to blame, not what to do. Here you are, and you're focusing on what to do. As Melissa says, forming new connections, new partnerships, and engaging the kind of network intelligence that ultimately is going to turn people's lives around. I'll close with this. You know, Gloria, you said, and Rita, as a volunteer, you know, Rita's story is pretty remarkable. And the fact that her story didn't end and it has a new beginning is because of so much the work that all of you have done for her. And, you know, there's an old saw, it's true. No one stands taller than when he or she bends down on one knee to lift someone else up. So I want to thank Rita and all of the volunteers for standing tall and fighting the good fight of not just being against something, but being for something. Mother Teresa never went to an anti-war rally. She said, I refuse. I will only go to a pro-peace rally. Shift the frame. John said it 10 years ago, zero tolerance, a high bar. And I'll close with this. It reminds me of the old words of Michelangelo. The biggest risk, John, is not that you aim too high and miss it. It's that we aim too low and reach it. When your goals are as audacious as zero tolerance, no violence, no human trafficking, no elder abuse, no subjugation, or women and girls and our men, as you have that audacious goal, even if you don't reach it, you, in the process of achieving it, find out who you really are. And so thank you for manifesting in so many ways that ideal of 10 years ago, Supervisor, and all the extraordinary work to help get us to this point. And thank you, in closing, to Chevron. You deserve credit. To Coca-Cola, to Y&H and Bob and his foundation, to Blue Shield, and to Kaiser, to California Endowment, all the partners that have stepped up, not just rhetorically, but substantively, to make this groundbreaking happen. Thank you all.
This is the first of any of its kind. Started right here in Richmond. Don't say we're not turning Richmond around, because everybody's trying to emulate what we're doing here. We want to share it across the board, but you know what? This is a great day for the city of Richmond, and it's a great day for people who are not treated fairly. And this is a place they can come. It's a safe haven. We're going to work on human trafficking, which is one of my #1 things, and it's just positive for the city of Richmond. I'm excited. And then to have the Lieutenant Governor here even makes it that much better, and this much of the community to turn out for something like this. I am honored.